you doing?
Today has been so busy, it's crazy.
Do you mind if Doc is here? He can step out.
No, he can stay. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I trust Doc. He's a good one.
Moss, can you please sit in the mayor's chair?
No.
Please.
No.
Please.
The
No, thank you.
court center. Oh my god, it's gonna be
What's going on
sick.
with that?
I'd have to show you. Seeing is believing.
Mm.
Entire place is getting worked on.
Okay. That's very exciting.
Yep.
Trying to think. Do I got any updates? I was working on that document we talked about.
Yes.
So we can go over that. It's not. It's one of those things where a lot of what I was writing out was kind of already in the SOPs. I mean, the whole thing is like, officer integrity and just kind of refocusing their policing to investigations rather than just arrests and assuming everybody's guilty of everything.
Absolutely.
But
I think that's a good thing. Like, I mean, because this is going to be like a public facing document, right? It's like a commitment letter. Not necessarily from just the chief, but kind of as the Los Santos government.
Okay, I need to polish it up a little bit.
Yes.
Then it's going to be a public letter essentially. Yeah. But no, I mean, things in LSPD are fine. Seems like things in BCSO are all right, I guess. I don't know. I've talked to the new sheriff a couple times. But he seems like he's trying to get his footing and just trying to make this situation, he's very positive, which is nice.
Yeah.
Seems like he's very willing. He wants to work with me. He said he thinks it's important for both departments that, the sheriff and the chief are kind of working hand in hand together. So that's new.
What if I told you I tried to poach him from the BCSO during Thanksgiving?
For what? For LSPD?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
He's
I
a
like
great
Radish.
guy.
Yeah.
I told him the same thing, but I barely know this guy. But when he showed up, so Vivian helped me set up the Thanksgiving race. It was very like people were bored in the city, you could tell. So I was like, "Fuck it, we're gonna do the great annual turkey run where people dressed up like turkeys and ran from Legion Square to the chicken factory on foot."
Oh, wow.
And a shitload of people showed up. There was like there was like a contest of who was the best looking turkey, and then this whole thing, and everyone from LSP. You had Peach, you had Carmine, you had Vivian, you had 6, 7, 8 LSPD officers who participated on bikes and shit. Enjoyed it. And what's his name? Redditch was alongside him, and just him participating for me said everything. I don't know if that makes sense, but in my mind it does.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I am just trying to be supportive of him, given the fact that I think I was in a very similar situation, when I became chief. We talked a little bit, and the only thing that I really said to him is that he's sheriff now, and that the only advice I can give him is to surround yourself with people who are going to see through the things that you want to accomplish,
Yeah.
and who you trust, and just to kind of stand by your decisions. Um,
I don't think he picked a random
he's
guy.
such a nice guy that the only thing I could see happening is just kind of like Bones and Cassidy are still sheriff and undersheriff through him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's really good advice. I did commit to him that I was just worried about like budgets and shit. And, because I reasserted that my only concern from honestly this whole debacle, oh my lord,
Sound like shit.
I know I got this new cough medicine that I got like a month ago, and I haven't had a chance to take it yet.
Oh my god.
So the day he got elected, I had a very straightforward conversation with him. I'm like, I'm excited. I can tell you, I don't know what you're gonna hear, whatever, but I'm excited for him, and that my concern has, when it comes to like PD relations, has primarily been LSPD needs autonomy, and not because of the betterment of the LSPD, but for the people, right? Because when the people vote, they should feel like it was their choice to make the mayor and the decisions that come out of it, the same way that they hold me accountable. But indirectly, their desires are reflected through the police department as well, right?
Yeah,
And
exactly. And that's something that Mateo and I talked a little bit about is, because he was talking about like Pred's involvement, and I was telling him that your big thing is making sure it's not just the PD, it's the city as a whole, and how does the PD affect the city, and
yes,
what are our relations with the public,
yes,
and is the police department reflecting your vision for the city as a whole.
yeah. And
Are
he
we
did
doing say it again?
he did also bring up like, and I brought up the jurisdictions, and I mentioned like, you know very early on there tended to be a perception that I wanted people processed down here because it was some big dick measuring contest, rather than the core principle of, when you process someone in a bank down here, you are, let's get rid of the money aspect for a second. Cops are going to need to talk to each other how to process the charges. You split them up, that's a problem. Lawyers need access to their clients that might not be split up. Creates a disaster for everybody in a way. And there's also the, I forgot what the word is. Actually, Barrett put it past a while ago, is the money that is coming back to the state and the county is restitutions. If there's a crime that happens in an area, the populace is getting restituted, not a different county. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that opened up, but there's going to be concerns about the budget. I got to figure that out. And I told them, listen, if you, and I actually said this to Cassidy, believe it or not, 4 months ago, or like whatever it was, and I recommitted with Redditch. If it becomes a budget thing and they're coming and assisting, we'll find a way to pay them for their backup. You know what I mean? So the whole money thing can be solved.
I mean, I could easily transfer the money to them if they process down here in the city. It's not a big deal.
It's not a big deal, exactly. And then it's solved. Like, if literally they are, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to fund if they decide that they want 100 deputies, right? They're always on duty, but we can do it on a per, whatever. We can find something reasonable, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That makes everyone happy. But so I'm excited. I
Good.
think it may be worth. You want to take a quick drive? You want to see the new court center?
Sure.
right.
We can go do that, and then Doc and I probably gotta
Yep.
go. We gotta go deal
Gotta
with
go
the.
do the work.
Wait, what the fuck are you doing with Daisy?
What do you mean?
What do you mean? Where are you going?
What are you asking? What Doc and I are doing?
Yeah.
Gonna go chain someone up.
I'll give you a very vague answer.
Yeah.
We have to go interrogate a police officer that may have acted extremely corruptly.
Jesus fucking Christ. Okay.
You gonna tell him he's a bad boy?
No, but if he did do the shit that we think he did, I'm gonna tell him he's fired.
Oh.
Oh man.
Moss, you can let me put on your jacket.